for engineering stuff, like I was good at it. I made a lot of money, so I didn't just quit. You know, I make sure systems are dialed in, that it's a repeatable process, and then quit is what I did. It might take like you working on the weekends and nights and stuff like that for the time you need, but that's only temporary, right? So if you can tolerate a little bit of temporary pain, it'll pay off in the future.
Hey there, business enthusiasts. Welcome to the Chills Podcast, brought to you by Allweather Roof. Because just like a sturdy roof, our conversations are built to last. I'm your host, Brent Loberg, and we're about to dive into the world of business, family, and the moments that give us those exhilarating chills. Ever wonder what keeps successful people inspired? Well, get ready to find out as we chat with some fantastic all-weather customers, partners, vendors, and friends. We'll explore their triumphs, challenges, and maybe even some unexpected secrets. After all, business is not just about numbers. It's about the people behind them. So grab your metaphorical popcorn and join us on this journey. Get ready to be inspired, maybe even get a few chills of your own. This is the Chills Podcast. Let the goosebumps begin.
I am Luke Nietfeld. I am a real estate investor here in the state of Minnesota. We do deals here. We're actively doing deals in Georgia as well, Atlanta Metro. And then maybe soon in Phoenix. We have some stuff cooking up. Got a lot of connections there. We're working into some co-living pad split stuff in Phoenix where we have some good connections. So that's on the horizon here too.
Okay. What brought you out of this market to those two markets?
One of the reasons is like I want to invest in places I want to live.
Okay.
And so it's great for the summer, but I'm not a winter guy.
Okay.
I don't like snow. I don't really do many winter activities. Don't ice fish. I love summer fishing, but ice fishing is really boring. I don't see the point. So like winter's just not my thing.
Got it. So you also had on your way a little bit closer to you. You also had on your on LinkedIn that you're a medical device engineer.
Yeah. So out of high school, went to college, got a degree in mechanical engineering. I was thinking about doing something with like fitness, like chiropractics or physical therapy or personal trainer, something like that, because that's like one of my passions is fitness, working out, that stuff. And so, but I was also like, my parents were like, you're not going to college if you're like going to do that because you're not going to make any money. I'm like, okay, fair.
Sure.
So I went and I was like, okay, I'll just be an engineer.
So you got your engineer degree?
Yeah, I got my engineer degree. And then like the human body always interests me. So that's kind of what led me to medical device, and stuff like that, and working at some medical device places. Worked at a startup for a little bit. That was actually really fun. I actually enjoyed that. And then I got into the more bigger company corporate world of engineering. I'm like, this is super boring. I can't do this. Well, like I could do it. It was just is draining. I was so bored every day.
You weren't passionate about it.
No.
So how did you go down the real estate market then? That route?
I guess. I guess in college we had 6 guys in a house, and like the landlord just owned a ton of properties on that one street. And I was like thinking like, does this guy just like sit around and just collect rent all day? What does he do? So that's kind of what piqued it. And then going to engineering and stuff like that, I made pretty good money. So I bought a house pretty quickly in 2019, and then it like spiked up, that housing boom. And then I'm like, wow, I made a lot of money for just owning this house, and that kind of sparked my interest a little more about real estate, right? And then I was like, okay, I'm going to buy a duplex, fourplex, something like that. And then I was going to do that, went through all the numbers, went through all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, I buy this, rent it out, fix it up, whatever. And then when can I buy the next one? And I'm like, I don't want to like save up money again to do that. I'm like, that I don't like that plan. I'd rather just buy Bitcoin and see what happens.
Sure.
Or stocks or something like that. Something that's easier than being a landlord. So that got me down the rabbit hole of flipping houses, stuff like that. And then that got me down the rabbit hole of, okay, but then you need capital, the person do the work, and the deal, right? So there's 3 things. The hardest one to find is the deal, and then the second hardest is the people who do the work. Third hardest is the capital, which is actually kind of easy. You just tell people what you're doing and be like, hey, give me $100,000, I'll give you $115 when it's done in 4 months. And they're like, okay, cool. That's a really good return in 4 months,
Yeah.
And so that then led me to wholesaling and finding deals. So that's kind of how I started, was a lot of wholesaling, especially when I was an engineer. Also very good at systems, running numbers, all sorts of things, like figuring out what a deal is and being able to be creative of like, okay, this doesn't work for a flip, it works for a rental, or like cash out refis with DSCR, all kinds of things, right?
So you're kind of using somewhat of your engineer background into
Yeah.
creating spreadsheets or whatever it is to put these deals together.
I have a lot of spreadsheets. Yeah, I have a spreadsheet for everything. It can be good and bad because it can be a time suck if I get sucked into it, because I'm like, oh, I have this really good idea of how I'm going to link my spreadsheet to my CRM, so it automatically runs numbers right away and it sends an offer in like 5 minutes. I built it out, but it wasn't needed at the time. So like, I wasted like a week doing that. But
Okay.
you live and you learn. But eventually it'll be a super cool system and software we can use more in depth in our business when we start hiring out. We're bringing on employees to do acquisitions and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you right now just residential, or do you do any commercial?
Mostly residential. I don't actively go after commercial stuff. If a commercial deal comes across my plate, I have a lot of friends in the commercial space that I can bring on and partner on it, or I can wholesale it to them, right? One of the two.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you lean Robert Kiyosaki for using debt for leverage, or are you more Dave Ramsey where you want to pay stuff off and no debt?
Robert.
Yeah. You read the book?
I haven't actually.
That's a great book. I know everybody say you're doing the stuff, but it'd still be a good read for you.
Yeah, exactly. Every investor I talked to is like, yeah, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that's how I started. And I'm like, I read David Goggins' book. Yeah. Sure. It's like more my speed.
How old are you?
I just turned 30 not too long ago. Yeah.
Okay. It's funny because as I'm turned 44 in January, but I used to be Kiyosaki, and now as I've gotten older, I'm like, I don't want that much risk.
Right.
So now I'm like Dave Ramsey.
I can see that. Yeah. One of my mentors, Jamil, he pays everything in cash now.
Okay.
Just because he's been through the ups and downs of everything. He's like, yeah, I just like paying in cash and just knowing it's there, paid off, and making no money,
Yeah.
Which I get. To get to that point, though, I'm a big fan of just using leverage. A lot of private money investors. We have a lot of private money contacts for stuff, too.
Okay. And so you talked about borrowing money and then kind of flipping it fast. Do you have any long-term holds, or are you just kind of flipping stuff?
I have one long-term hold in Tampa, Florida right now, an Airbnb. Got that about 2 years ago now. And it's not bad. Airbnb is kind of on the downward trend a little bit, just from Airbnb's like prime was, like 2018, 2019, especially during COVID, when you couldn't like travel that much. A lot of people were renting out Airbnbs anywhere and like doing that. And then you could get really good returns and really solid bookings for Airbnb. Now there's kind of a downtrend with that. So I think the pivot would be to do more of affordable housing and rent that out. Like like the pad split thing I kind of mentioned earlier, like we're taking a house, say it's like a 4-3, and then we convert it to like an 8-6 or something like that, right? And then we rent it out by the room. So each room has like a number on it, and that'll be rented out per room. And then if you go to like pad split, pad split's like the Airbnb for a co-living model. So you just go to padsplit.com and you'd be like, okay, I need a place to stay for 6 months in Tampa, Atlanta, Phoenix, something like that. You go to pad split, you can rent them out. You can rent them out by the week, but most people will rent them out like monthly basis. And then it's just any kind of like any other rental property that you have. You just manage that. And then I'm a big fan of, if you're gonna have rentals, make it completely passive, just hire out everything and then figure out a way to have more active income, whether that's wholesaling or flipping houses, and have that be your active income.
Okay. And then the passive is just kind of growing your equity in the property, you mean?
Yep.
Okay.
And these pad splits can cash flow quite a bit. Gross wise, you'd probably be making $7,000 to $8,000 a month. So net, we'll just call it $3,000 to be safe.
I'm not familiar with pad split. What is that?
It's pretty new. I wouldn't say it's new. It's just not it's not common in Minnesota, so that's probably why. But in like Phoenix and Atlanta, it's a lot more common. So you take a house and you're basically just renting it out by the bedroom.
Okay.
And so you're like, hey, you can stay here for $800 a month. You get this bedroom and you share like the common kitchen space. So it's a lot of traveling nurses, traveling stuff like that.
Okay.
Or just like people that need cheaper rent while they figure stuff out. Because then if you can rent this out for $800 a month, it's a lot cheaper than renting out a studio for $1,500 a month or $2,000 because rent's getting pretty expensive. So it's a lot cheaper than that. So that's that model. So like I could show you on the computer like pad split stuff when we're done with this and stuff. You can kind of like look at it.
Okay. It's just padsplits.com.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Find it easy. Okay. Cool. So how long have you been doing this for?
2 years.
Okay.
2 years. Yeah.
You got any interesting stories? Fun stories or something you're going to tell boys at a bar or?
Nothing like super major. I mean, I've walked into a bunch of crappy houses. Like we just went to a house where there's dog poop on the floor and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is lovely.
Living there and trying to sell it?
Yes, they were living there. We're actually closing on that deal kind of soon. That deal will be completed soon. But we helped them out. Like they just wanted to sell it. So stuff like that. And then walk into like a bunch of hoarder situations.
Hoarder?
Yeah.
Really?
So stuff everywhere. Food that's been there for how long? I don't know. But nothing like super interesting where like, I don't know, like we haven't ran into crazy people or anything like that.
Fun stories or anything like that? No,
not really.
So you're a young entrepreneur. What kind of tidbit of advice would you give to the audience about starting a business, a startup, or going on your own, or following their passion like you did, where you had this totally different route? You're an engineer and got your degree, and now you're in real estate.
I say the biggest thing is to get around people that are doing the thing that you want to do, and seeing what they're doing, how they're doing it. Make friends with people in the industry for first off, and like go to meetups and stuff like that, and get around people doing the thing. And then, in terms of like changing career paths, it kind of depends what you're doing. For engineering stuff, like I was good at it. I made a lot of money. So I didn't just quit. I made sure I did a couple deals while I was an engineer, stuff like that. Made sure it works. Make sure systems are dialed in, that it's a repeatable process, and then quit is what I did. So I wouldn't quit your job right away when you're doing it. It might take like you working on the weekends and nights and stuff like that for the time you need, but that's only temporary, right? So if you can tolerate a little bit of temporary pain, it'll pay off in the future.
So true side hustle.
Yeah, exactly.
Working full-time job, and you're kind of getting your thing going on the side.
Mm-hmm. And then I would also say like pick one thing you want to do and just focus on the one thing. Because when I started, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do Airbnb, I'm going to do flips, I'm going to do wholesaling, I'm going to do like duplexes, multifamily. You're not going to do anything then. You're just going to sit there and spin your wheels if you're focused on too many things, unless dialing in on one thing. And I mean, it's easier said than done, that's for sure, especially finding the one thing you want to do.
Yeah.
Like for me, it just kind of led to not wanting to take forever to buy property after property after property. And I was like, okay, how can you make super fast money? The super fast money is wholesaling. Like the tomorrow money is like flipping. You make more money flipping, except it's just 4 months, 6 months instead of 3 weeks. And then buy and hold we call it forever money. It just takes a little bit to build up the equity and major cash flow when you're doing the buy and holds. But
yeah, that's good. So how do you find these deals? Like what do you do are you online? Are you trying to meet with people, driving around looking at properties? Like how do you find deals like that?
There's a couple of different ways. One of our best ways is a lot of real estate agents send us deals that they come across and they just can't list the property, or the sellers don't want to list them because of the condition they're in. So that's a lot of deals we get. Then we'll go on the MLS sometimes, and we'll go to houses that have been listed for over 50 days. And if it's like something like outdated or something, if you can add some improvements, we'll call them. Just ask what's going on and see if we're a right fit for them. If they have no desire or to sell, like we just don't really waste our time. We just kind of move on. And then we keep that relationship with the agent that listed it. And then anything they get in the future, they'll send us. And there's just texting them every now and then, asking how everything's going. Can I help you with anything? Like if you have any deals, great. But like, do you need like a electrician, plumber, anything like that we have connections to? We can help you out with that too. And just building that relationship with them. So it's not just like a take, give me deals. It's like, hey, like, what do you need help with as well? And then you can do stuff where you send out postcards, say like you use software and you find out, okay, how many people have like a tax lien on the property or it's a absentee vacant owner, retired landlord, stuff like that. You can send out postcards or you can call them. That works too. For the calling part, like you can call yourself, but that takes a lot of time. So I'm a bigger fan of doing something that's more inbound, so like postcards. And then when you get to the point where you have like $6,000 to $10,000 to spend a month on ads and incoming leads, like pay-per-click, pay-per-lead, that's when you can get a lot more inbound leads just from, that's like internet SEO searches and stuff like that. Okay. Like the We Buy Ugly Houses and stuff like that. But that one you need a lot more liquid capital to work on.
Sure. So you must have a lot of relationships with like residential contractors, sheetrock, whatever it might be, to help you flip.
Yep, with all of them. And actually my business partner, Jordan, he's been working with contractors and helping his godfather out since he was 16.
Okay.
So he's got a lot of experience with that. And so we partnered up not too long ago to kind of scale it out more. And it's going pretty well because we have good strength and weaknesses balancing out. I'm very good with systems and like programs and like software and stuff like that and building that out for us. And making sure like everything's on track, all that stuff. And then again with like Excel sheets and stuff like that and building out our CRM and website and all that. And he's good with like construction and sales stuff, but doesn't want to touch any technology stuff.
Okay. So that's where you come and play.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Yep. And then I'm really good at raising capital for deals too, if needed. Just with the connections I've built out or built up.
Okay. You got any mentors?
Yeah. We got a couple. So Jamil Damji is one of my mentors. And then locally, I mean, like Corey Wright's an awesome guy. I talk to a lot. Liz, who's coming on your podcast soon. I'm good friends with her. Yeah, she's awesome. She's helped me with stuff. Mark Renea is a guy around here. Awesome dude. So there's a couple of people that I look up to that do a lot of deals and help, that are willing to help out around here too, like more local. But in terms of like business and scaling stuff like that, Jamil is my guy for that.
Okay.
And the pad split stuff, he's very into like the pad split stuff. So that's how I'm learning it, just through Jamil.
Okay. So the name of the podcast is called The Chills. So hair stand up in the back of your neck in a good way, not like scary, but like, So what gets your blood flowing? Like what makes you passionate about what you're doing?
Like super passionate is when I watched blanking on the movie name. One sec. The Sound of Freedom, where the guy that helped the FBI guy out was a billionaire real estate guy, not anyone else. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make so much money in real estate where I can do like real good, like ending child trafficking or something like that. So when you have something that's super big that you're trying to shoot for, little things don't really bother you, I guess. That and
so you want to make money, but you want to make money to get back to.
Yeah.
Okay. So I like that.
So, and then again, I have 3 kids. So I got a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 2-month-old now. So, so busy. And then again, like making sure that they see what hard work can bring and stuff like that. And then building business, and maybe they'll join someday. That'd be awesome if they could,
By then you'll have a legacy built up.
That's the plan, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
2-month-old. Wow, how's that going?
It's good. He's a good baby for the most part.
Yeah.
Like his sleep schedule is pretty consistent. He only wakes up about once, twice a night, but he's pretty easy to go back to sleep. So it can be a lot worse. So, I mean, you just kind of learn to live off 6 hours of sleep instead of 8 for a little bit.
You get used to it over time.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
a kid by now. You're the first one. You're probably like, oh,
Yeah.
but now you're used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal. Bonus question for you.
Yeah.
What is your? You said you like to do a strength training. I'd be interested to see how you like organize your spreadsheets and your progress. And do you have a system for your?
I do. Yeah. I have about 4 different workout splits that I kind of alternate between. The best one I think is like doing a pull push leg split and then repeating that, and then I take Sunday off. So you're hitting at least every body part twice a week, which you should at least do if you're serious about building muscle as fast as you can. And then I have stuff where it's like, okay, if I want to do like a full body split, I got that. Or the classic Arnold split where it's chest, back, shoulders, buys, legs, repeat. But then you track like how much you're weighing that day, how much water are you drinking, how much protein are you consuming, and then you can like, okay, what's your bench max this week? What's your squat, deadlift, roughly? Just keep track of that.
Mm-hmm. Where do you work out at?
Jack to Lean Gym in Rogers.
Okay. And you said you hadn't missed a day since 8th grade until you had COVID.
Yeah, I even went the day my daughter was born, both of them, and my son. My wife's great.
Yeah. Does she work out too?
Yeah, at home.
Yeah, does it at home?
Yep.
Does she work in your business at all?
No.
Does she do her own thing or she stay at home?
She was doing her own thing. She was doing, the book sales for Paper Pie. But then the kids came along and she's a mom now.
Okay. So how do you juggle your entrepreneur and all your family with the 3 kids? How's that transition going? Because you started this when you already had 2 kids.
Yeah, I kind of the seed got implanted in my brain when the second one was born. So that was about 3 years ago, and then I didn't really do anything for like a year except for watching YouTube.
Yeah.
So in terms of balance, like I think it's just important that when you aren't working to not think about it, which is easier said than done, obviously.
Sure.
And then just making sure like, okay, you can even set a timer and be like, okay, for 40 minutes, I'm not looking at my phone, not doing that. I'm just going to like color or do something and only think about that for 40 minutes, right?
Yep.
And then 40 minutes is, okay, I'll check my phone, make sure there's nothing going on. Mm-hmm. Awesome. You just kind of repeat that to make sure like when the time you are spending with them, that it's 100% of your time, because that's better than giving like an hour 100% of your time than like 3 hours of like 50% of your attention. So I think that is the biggest thing.
Sure.
And then also just make sure during your day that you're moving forward and you have goals that you set out to accomplish and you're accomplishing those and you don't get sidetracked from those goals. Okay, it's like the first thing you do when you wake up, like what do you do? I call it, got this from Bedros Koulian, the stacking limbs.
I like him.
Yeah, I like Bedros a lot. So he talks about...
Did you do the Truling shot?
No, I don't have that yet.
I don't either.
I have a hydration packet and stuff I take and vitamins, but I don't take the True Lane shot yet. I probably will eventually. I mean, the more
he just keeps.
I hear it enough that one day he's gonna break me.
Yeah, exactly. Just every time he takes that pause.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds like good stuff. But it's like, okay, I drink a glass of water every morning, like 20 ounces every morning, first thing. Then I get ready for the gym, and then on the way to the gym, I drink 20 ounces of salt water, pretty much, like a liquid element or salty earth supplements like that, to get like magnesium, salt, and calcium in the morning. Then get to the gym, take a pre-workout. Sometimes it's a caffeine one, sometimes it's one without caffeine. Just kind of depends on the day. Leg day, it's always caffeine. Yeah, to get after it really hard. And so then I work out, do that, stretch. So then by the time I'm like 2 hours into my day. I got a lot of momentum of like things I've crossed off my to-do list, and then it just goes from there. And it's like, okay, I need to call these people today. I need to submit these offers today. We got to follow up on this. We got to make sure EMD is submitted on these deals. We got to like, where's this deal at? Where's this deal at? Right? It's just a checklist from there. And then you just bang those out. And then once you complete your list, I mean, you could be done for the day, right?
Yeah.
Like you completed all the necessary tasks for the day to win the day. And then after that, it's like, okay, now what's kind of going on? Okay, now that all that's done, what can I do to improve the system or venture out into like the different markets and stuff like that? That's when I can add those on, because that it doesn't make me money to like go to look up deals in Arizona where we're not quite ready to pull the trigger yet. Mm-hmm. So why would I do that? So that's more of a free time thing in the workday.
But
as long as
the hunt is the fun part.
It is, yeah. Because we have very big plans to buy at least 4 of these by the end of the year, in Phoenix and Atlanta. So
what is your ideal property or ideal deal?
Like a 3-2, 1,800 square feet, in the suburbs with the ARV around 420.
Okay. How do you help people in your industry? Like if someone's listening to the podcast, why would they come to you?
It depends what they need, I guess. Like if they need a deal, they want to flip a deal. Well, we have 3 this week. We're going to get under contract. We don't keep all of them. We wholesale the ones we don't want. So like, okay, here's a deal. If you need a deal, if you're trying to learn how to wholesale, you could come to me and be like, hey, I have this lead. What do I do from here? And I could be like, hey, here's a contract, get on contract. Here's a title company, go to this title company and make sure EMD submitted all this. If you need a buyer, let me know. I'll bring a buyer. We can split the assignment fee, partner on the deal that way. Basically just walk them through the process of a wholesale deal. If they want to flip it, and they have a deal, it's like, okay, do you need money? I can connect you with a lot of hard money lenders. If it's a really good deal, we have private lenders that would come on and like 100% fund and stuff like that, right? Do you need contractors? We have lots of contractors that we can refer you to.
You've really built a pretty good organization in the last couple of years. You know a lot of people already. You got some good lenders, and impressive.
Thanks. Yeah. I go out there and talk to people, I guess.
Yeah.
is the best thing you can do is just go talk to people. Especially I talk to everyone at the gym. Everyone that goes in the morning, I know their name. I know what they do. I know their splits. I know their maxes. I don't know. Stuff like that. Yeah.
There's your engineer mind. You just got these.
Yeah, pretty much.
How do people get in touch with you?
You could follow me on Instagram at my name, Luke Nietfeld, or Facebook, also just Luke Nietfeld, or LinkedIn, also Luke Nietfeld.
So you don't necessarily have the name of a business yet. It's just your name.
It's just my name.
Cool.
Yeah. I haven't made a business profile yet. It's crossed my mind, but I just haven't done it. Right now, the business is just kind of name brand right now. And it might just stay that way.
Yeah.
So.
How about people get in touch with the phone number?
Yeah. So my cell phone is 763-244-6301.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, thanks for coming on. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's a wrap, folks. A huge thank you to our incredible guests and, of course, Allweather Roof for making this podcast possible. If you enjoyed these conversations as much as we did, don't forget to hit subscribe and share the chills with your fellow business aficionados. Remember, it's not just about business, it's personal, and it's all about the people. Stay inspired, chase those dreams, and let the chills guide you. Till next time, this is Brent, signing off from the Chills Podcast. Catch you on the flip side.